What's up, you guys? And welcome back to another episode of Your Favorite Aunties Podcast. Nia.
Yes.
What's going on, girl?
Are you ready for this episode today?
I'm ready for this episode today, but before we get started, I want to remind you all that we have merch, okay? Click the links in all of our bios, whether you're watching on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whether you're listening to us from Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, all the places. We're everywhere by the grace of God. And I'm so thankful for that. And you know what? This month is super, super special. You want to know why? It is because it's Auntie's birthday month.
Yay!
And I'm so excited to spend this time with her. So she doesn't know I'm doing this, so she's probably going to roll her eyes.
Like, what are you doing?
Listen, because it's March, her birthday is March 20th, okay? So when you guys are listening to this, I want you to drop something in our what? P.O. box. See, you guys didn't know that we have a P.O. box, but we do. And she didn't know that I was going to do this. So we're expecting some birthday gifts because I want to make sure that this is really, really special to you.
Aww.
I really, really do. And then all the love that we get from you all in our DMs, we know that if you knew that it was her birthday and we didn't say anything, y'all would be upset.
Yeah.
So, well, I knew. Let me not say we, because she literally
like,
did not
we don't have to do anything at all.
No, but you guys, I will make sure that our P.O. box is linked everywhere. So when you get done listening or watching this episode, make sure you check out the links in our DM and you will see the P.O. box information.
Yeah. And shout out to the March birthdays.
Yes.
Because we're the best.
Nia, listen, you want to know what we're getting into today?
What?
We're going to ask the aunties.
Ooh, I love Ask the Aunties. Now, we get a lot of questions, especially like when we go live.
Yes.
The questions pour in. Yeah. And some of them are really good questions. So are you ready?
I'm ready. What's the first question?
Okay, so I took a little look to see what we got. What are we going to talk about today? And I thought this one was really, really good. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
It is. How do y'all navigate being an auntie to your siblings' kids?
Oh, my goodness.
Which is interesting because I know I have 5 from my siblings, but then also I'm my friend's kids' TT.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of nieces and nephews running around. Yeah. So it is like a dynamic that you have to pay attention to. But I know that you have like a recent situation. So how do you navigate it?
It's so funny. Like literally having nieces and nephews, because there are things that I want to do with them that I don't even think twice about. Yeah. So I know I can say there was one day when I took my niece to the movies to go see one of like the latest animated movies, mainly because I wanted to see it, not necessarily because she did, because I'm a big animated movie fan.
Yeah, me too.
And I took her, and then when I got home, my sister was like, so we were going to take her to see that this weekend. So maybe next time, just let us know, or, just check with us and just see if it's okay. Yeah. And I'm like, you're right. I probably should have done that. Yeah. So I think I've become so hands-on with them. I don't think to ask their parents first, because I'm like, I'm your parent.
Right. Like second parent.
Yeah, like you're my baby. Like you're my niece, you're my nephew, or you're my nephews, because I have some other ones. But I don't know. It's sometimes it's hard not going into that parent role in a way. But not necessarily the discipline side, because I just, I can't do that.
I'm definitely more hands off in that regard. Mm-hmm. I love to talk to them when they were babies. Listen, bring all the babies to TT Nia. I love the babies. But as far as like disciplining and stuff like that, listen, that's your baby. Okay, I'm not going to insert myself into that. Now, I know other people who are like, listen, it takes a village. Anybody can discipline them. Mm-hmm. I'm just not her. Yeah. And so I just choose kind of like a hands-off approach, and then I'm there when they need me, and like I'm the cool auntie. Yeah. Like come in, hugs, cuddles, let's go do something fun, and then I'm enjoying my auntie life.
I know that's right. Listen, but you know what? As an auntie to a few newborns and a few toddlers, I don't change diapers. I'm not on diaper duty.
Really?
Not on diaper duty at all. Yeah, at all. Not even close.
I'll do it. It's definitely not enjoyable, but I'll do it.
No.
I just love the baby stage. Now, like my siblings' kids are getting older, like they're preteens. And I'm just like, oh, my baby is grown. Yeah. They just grow so fast.
They do grow really fast. But again, I'm not doing them diapers.
So we're just enjoying the auntie life.
Yeah.
For now.
For now. But you know what? Also with being an auntie, it's really important that I didn't understand how fast children like really grew.
Yeah, they do.
Until I got to spend all this time with my niece and my nephew. Like, they grow so quickly.
They do.
And when I go like a couple weekends or like a couple days without seeing my niece, I look at her face and I'm like, why have you morphed into this other child now? And where did this height come in? So I know that you had talked to me a little while ago about really just enjoying this phase with my nephew. And I'm like, I really do, because they're just changing and growing so much.
Yeah. You know, that's something I've been working on in life, period. It's just soaking in the moments, being present in the moment. I'm very guilty of always thinking ahead, always being ready for the next step, always planning, like literally calendar, planner, checklist.
Yeah.
And so I've been guilty of not being present. And so I know a couple years ago, I made that, you know, one of my goals is to be present in the moment. And so just remembering things like that of like, no, let me just be here right now, just soaking this all in. Like, you just have to remember those things.
Yeah. And the kids are they're just so sweet.
They are.
And I love the fact that I can like hang out with my niece and my nephews and then give them back.
Yes. Drop them off.
Oh yeah. I love that. I love every minute of it. But let's get into this next one. So how do you deal with social media trolls?
Okay. So here's the thing.
What's the thing?
For the most part, I'm okay with ignoring. But I also feel sometimes the need to jump in when it gets too incorrect or too rude.
Right.
We had a video that got quite a bit of views maybe a couple of weeks ago. And for whatever reason, certain people felt the need to comment on weight.
Men.
The video had nothing to do with physicality.
Nothing.
And if you disagree, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Let's have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
But to be like, oh, well, that's you're fat and you're obese on the BMI chart. First of all, what BMI chart? Because you don't even know what it looked like.
Come on.
Those things really bother me.
Yeah.
And so at times I'll try to at least comment one time and respond and kind of redirect back to the subject matter or draw attention. Because I think on that one, I was like, what does this have to do with the topic?
Yeah.
Because people need to know sometimes.
Yeah.
But I do get why people say, oh, ignore them or don't engage. Because some people are on social media looking for a tussle.
They are.
They looking for a fight because they got a fight going on in their own life. So they want to get online and express it. And so they waiting for you, please say something to me so I can express this anger and this frustration.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to engage with that. And I try my best not to and just kind of be articulate and sweet. But there are times when it calls for other things. And that's what this auntie is for.
Because I promise you, I have just as much time as you do. I do. And if I don't, I'm going to make the time. Because don't play with me like that. Because the thing is, we don't bother anybody.
We don't.
We don't bother anybody. We don't get on here and bash people or bash things. We speak about our experiences.
Yeah.
But it's never to make anybody feel bad or talk about anybody specifically. So when they get in the comments and they start being reckless and then talking about things that have nothing to do with them and are in our business, no, I have time. But the thing is, I'm not going to I'm going to troll you back, but I'm going to be nice about it. And then what do? They backtrack.
Apologize.
Why are you?
That's why I say they be on there looking for a tussle.
And the thing, so let's say somebody says something about how I look, if I can understand if I'm not your preference, and that's fine. That's on you.
You're lost.
But it's fine if I'm not your preference. That's okay, because 9 times out of 10, you're not mine either.
Oh, okay.
So when it comes to somebody trying to say something about me or what I have going on, you don't know me. You know me because you see me on your timeline. You know me because you hear me, on your social media or something like that. But you don't know me in real life. You have no reason to talk about me or say anything to me or think that you know my life, because you don't.
So what is it you think makes people feel like they know you just by looking at social media? Because people really do draw a lot of conclusions based on small clips of you either saying something or doing something. And a lot of times they don't have the context,
right?
But they feel really strongly about these opinions that they're coming to. So what do you think that is?
I think that Let me find it.
You finding it?
I'm finding it. It take me this long to find it. Okay. So in some people's lives, what they show is all they have. In my life, what I show is what I want you to see.
Small percentage.
Small percentage.
Yeah.
This is not, I think I said the other day on Facebook, what you see on my social media is not the totality of who I am. You only get what I've curated.
Yeah.
So don't conclude me from my timeline because I'm so much more than what you see. But you have to get to know me as a person to get into my life, to know what's going on with me.
Yeah.
And I feel like when people think that they figured you out from your social media, it's because they put all of their life out and that's the only thing they have to show.
Right. And it goes both ways too, because I tell people all the time, there is no reason for you to be jealous over somebody's social media.
Right.
You have no idea what those people are going through in real life. Our social media is our highlight reel.
Yeah.
I'm only going to post the best things. When I was going through what I was going through last year, did it show on my social media?
Not at all.
According to social media, I'm living my best life.
Very best life.
So you got to be careful putting so much into social media. It's really tiring. It really is. But I think that we do a decent job of, I did go ahead and post some of those negative comments to my stories just because I wanted people to kind of see what we may deal with behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So this podcast is super fun. Yeah. And I love that it's helping people. People are encouraged.
Right.
For the majority of people, it is blessing them tremendously.
Yeah, amen.
But we also deal with some negativity and backlash and warfare.
Yeah.
As we bring these topics up. So.
And it's the craziest thing because we really put out positivity.
You try, yeah.
We don't spew out hate. We don't spew out negativity. Again, we speak about our experiences, but for the type of things that we get, that's not even what we put out. And for some reason, sometimes it's hard for me to understand why people would come to our page, purposely say, I'm not going to listen to what they're saying. I'm just going to comment.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think people like just look at the comments and just hop on the train.
Oh,
what other people are saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like completely disregarding what's actually being said.
The overall tone, whatever that is, we're going with that.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. So we got another question about dating. And we get a lot of questions, actually, about dating and relationships. Yeah. So I just love that y'all think we know.
Baby.
We're figuring it out like you. But no, so somebody was asking, if you receive a gift from someone, or you're just dating someone and y'all go out somewhere, you're not in a relationship, maybe you're multi-dating, maybe you're not, should you post those things on social media? Like, is that okay? Or is that maybe putting your other suitors off? Or should you post that? What do you think?
Post it.
Post it.
As soon as you get it. Drop it on them. Listen, and I say this in all fun, all niceness, all humility.
Yeah.
May the very best man win. If you have not taken it upon yourself to make us exclusive or have those exclusive conversations with me, fair game.
Fair game.
Fair game. And if you want it to go to the next level, then do it. Or if you're concerned about other suitors sending me gifts, be in the number. It made the best man win. Because, I mean, come on, think about it. I can't stop what I have going on when somebody is actively trying to pursue me and woo me, and you're upset because you didn't get to do it first. If you like it,
should have put a ring on.
Hello?
Ain't that what she said?
That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's not bring her up right now. Because
we not starting. They gonna want to tussle. They gonna want to tussle.
They're gonna be in the comments. Oh, and that's gonna be me replying.
I totally agree. And that's why I always say, and I've said it on here before, if you are single, you need to be multi-dating. That does not mean,
come on,
multi-sleeping with. But you should be out here enjoying yourself, getting to know people, having conversations. Yeah. It protects you because then you're not putting all your eggs into one basket. And then it also just gives you an opportunity to learn more about yourself and learn more about other people. If I hadn't have had dating experiences, I wouldn't really have a good grasp of what I want. I wouldn't have a grasp of what's healthy and what's not. And I would have been heartbroken every time somebody decided that they didn't want to talk to me.
Come on, somebody.
But now, but now, if you decide that you're going to see me later
at the top,
then it's perfectly okay.
Oh,
it's
Lord.
Perfectly okay.
You know what? One day I will grow up.
Yeah.
One day.
Not today.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good today. Okay, so another one is, how do you deal with friendship breakups, especially when you've been friends a long time? Let me take this one.
Yeah, you go. You go. You got it.
Come here. Let me give you a hug. Listen, when it comes to friendship breakups, they're not fun. Because I say all the time, friendships are relationships.
Yes, they are.
They're just platonic. Mm-hmm. There's no romance. Well, you could be romantic with your friends, but that's another conversation anyway.
We're not talking about that today.
Sometimes it is really difficult when any relationship ends. But I think that it's especially hard when it's a friend because you've let them in, not because you like them romantically or because you're bonded by blood. You said, you know what? I like you as a person. I want to integrate you into my life. So when you've woven them in your life and you realize that this isn't working anymore, taking apart that stitching, pulling back those layers that have been years on years on years on years, it's hard.
It is. Yeah.
Because what if you talk to this person at 7 a.m. every day? And then now y'all aren't together anymore. So you begin to feel that time and feel that void. Then what do? It's not always easy going through it. But if it's necessary for your growth and for your betterment and it becomes a toxic situation, you do need to let it go because it hurts more to hold on to it than it would to heal from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really important to determine, is this something that we can work through? Is this a pause? And just because you break up for a time doesn't mean you can't come back together. Mm-hmm. Because I know I've recently rekindled a friendship that fell off for like 2 years. Mm-hmm. And it was like not a cute falling off.
Yeah.
And we just didn't talk for a while. And the other day I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna call. And I did. And it's like we didn't miss a moment. But in the same way, we've matured in those 2 years. So who we are today, I know we can be solid from here on out.
Yeah, that's really good.
And you take accountability too. That's a big part.
So how do you know when it's time for a friendship breakup? Like, how do you know the difference between let me stick this out, this is my girl, or nah, I can't do this anymore?
When it takes, hope prayerfully before it takes a true mental toll on you, mental and emotional toll. But when you realize you're losing sleep over it or you're thinking about it more often than not, first of all, bring it to them because, I'm really big on let's talk this out.
Yeah.
Let's get down to the heart of it. If they're not trying to hear you or trying to make the relationship better, then you got to go or just reevaluate.
Yeah.
You got to categorize. You know what? In this time, you may have been a super best friend to me. Now you're more so an acquaintance. So let me take back some of my expectations of you.
Yeah.
Let me just, put you over here. And it's okay. Now it's okay that we don't talk 2 or 3 months at a time because I'm not putting more energy and effort into the relationship than you. So now I'm not feeling as depleted.
Right.
The issue with relationship breakups that I felt is I'm putting too much in and not getting enough out.
Anything. There we go.
And that's when I realized, okay, you know what? I've prioritized this a little higher than what I should have. And after I brought this to your attention, it didn't prioritize more to you. So now it's time for me to dial back. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when they realize that you're not giving all of what you used to give, they come and they like, oh, let me get on it. Sometimes they don't. They're okay with the separation. And then there's your answer.
Right.
If they rise to the occasion, great. If they don't, great.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it's for your benefit. You got a friend, you got a friend. You don't, you don't. Mm-hmm. And it's just that simple.
Yeah, you got to maintain a certain level of self-esteem and self-confidence when you're engaging in relationships. Because if you go into relationships low in those areas, that's when you're going to feel the need to hold on to people who are not good for you. Yeah. And so it's really important to make sure that you have the right expectations because high expectations and the person not rising to them is what causes that disappointment. Right. But sometimes we're not even communicating the expectation. So, maybe they like to talk on the phone all the time and then you don't. Yeah. And then when you're not calling them, it's like, oh, something's wrong. No, let me just communicate like I do with you. I'd be like, friend, We're not going to talk today, but I love you so much. Instead of just letting you be over there like, what's wrong with her? We usually talk. Why didn't we talk? I would never do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot of communication and balancing those expectations, making sure you're being a good friend to yourself.
Yeah.
And then maintaining that self-confidence. And also one of our viewers had messaged us about this as well. And she was talking about how they had been friends since they were small.
Yeah.
And so now things are different. And I remember telling her in that message, you got to be ready for friendships to go up and down.
Yeah.
Things happen. Life be lifing.
Lifing.
You know, we're growing. People have families. People have husbands. People have jobs. It's not going to be the same as when we were 17.
Yeah.
We had all the time in the world and we went to school together for 8 hours, you know? So you got to be ready to go with the up and down. And that takes maturity.
Right.
You need mature friends in your adult life. That's different from the little kid stuff.
That know how to communicate.
And they know how to communicate. Yeah.
And you know what? There's also a level of respect because that example that you gave me, like we were on a meeting, got off the meeting. You already know I'm about to call you so we could talk about the meeting. We just but before I could do that, you text, hey, today. So, you know, I'm going to kick it with you tomorrow, but, you know, I love you. Good night.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, but that's compromise and knowing who your friend is. You know who I am, so you communicated that. I know who you are, so I respected that. Mm-hmm. You just got to know who you're with. And it's just that simple.
It's just that simple. And I'll be so simple.
But you'd rather make it hard.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
We need to do a whole episode on songs.
Listen.
Because y'all not listening to the lyrics.
No, y'all literally are not. Because if you were, you use them way more often. Ooh, this one is so good. Okay. And it's so simple.
It's simple?
Yeah.
Okay, what we got?
How do you get closer to God?
Ooh, you know, we get this question a lot, actually. Yeah. We talk about God on every episode. Contrary to popular belief.
Say it again.
We talk about God on every episode.
Thank you.
We are faith-filled women.
Yes.
And we love the Lord. So people do ask us a lot, how do you get closer to God? My top, tippity top, talk to him.
Talk
to him.
And what do you mean by talk to him? I know, but tell them.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because
news anchor. I know. So for me, at this point in my life, I'm very conversational with God. Mm-hmm. And I believe in prayers. I believe in strong prayers. I believe in quoting the scriptures in your prayers. Mm-hmm. I believe in spiritual warfare. Mm-hmm. From my day to day, I'm very conversational. Like I started this morning, like, good morning. So I just ask that you guide my day today. I got all these things going on. You know, I got to do this presentation, Lord. So just help me to remember. Like I just talk to him. Yeah. And I know I went through a season where I did not talk to him. Mm-hmm. It was just hard for me. I didn't know what to say. Yeah. I was going through a lot and I just didn't know what to say. And sometimes that's enough. I told him a couple times, I'm here, but I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I don't know if you want me to tell you something or if I need to be listening. Even that is enough. And even that is a prayer and time with him. And so that is my top thing. I know people want to go to church, read the scriptures,
fast for 40 days and 40 nights.
Talk to him and it'll make a difference.
And the only reason why I said that the answer is simple is because we complicate things
everything, especially spiritual things.
Yeah.
My Lord.
When it's like, first and foremost, we have to take God out of the box and saying that we always have to come to him a certain way. I do believe there's a certain respect, honor, and reverence that you should have with him. Yes. Of course. Mm-hmm. But he's extremely understanding of who we are individually. Mm-hmm. So just like you said, you're very conversational. Like, so when you're speaking with him, hey, good morning, how are you? And this and that. But somebody might need to come, oh Lord, thou art. Like, you know, that may be where you are.
Absolutely.
But regardless, the Lord understands.
He understands you.
He gets it. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn out, elaborate thing. There are times in your walk where you literally won't have the words to say. Mm-hmm. You may sit down in a chair. And that was a full sentence. Yep. That was a full prayer. Mm-hmm. That was a full conversation as far as God is concerned, because he knows what you meant.
Yeah.
He heard you.
I love it.
He saw you.
Yeah.
He feels you. He knows what's going on with you. You don't have to fake the funk with him. And I'm glad about it.
Come on.
I'm glad that I can go before him and say, God, I don't even want to do this right now, if I could be completely honest. But I know that I need to stay in your presence. I know I need to stay with you. Sometimes it's really hard to get the words when you've been in a place where you're frustrated, where you've been in a place where you don't understand what's happening. But even in that, sit, get in the chair and just sit. Mm-hmm. And it might be a little awkward for a second, but just let yourself go for a minute. Don't think about it too much. And say, you know what, Lord, I may not be fully here, but I'm here.
Yeah, yeah.
So help me to come into who you are, to come into your presence, to experience you. Help me to listen to you. Help me to give to you.
Yeah.
Baby, ask for help. Talk to him. Be honest with the Lord.
I'll share too. One thing that really blessed me that my pastor told me when I was going through my season where I was just like, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't been praying. I ain't been reading. I just ain't been.
Ain't trying to be.
And he was like, just do 12 minutes. Mm-hmm. And oddly enough, that was so freeing for me. Like, oh, you mean I don't got to like lay out on the floor with my Bible and my notebook and I got to have, I don't have to do all of that. Yeah. I could just be like, hey, I'm here. What's up?
Nice if you showed up too.
And that was really freeing. Yeah. And from that moment, actually, it did get better because I didn't feel the pressure to make my time with God look a certain way. Yeah. I didn't feel the pressure to have the words to say. Yeah. It just took off the pressure like, hey, this what I have in me right now. Yeah. And instead of being condemned because I'm not feeling it right now, right, I can go to him and be like, this is my 12. I never put a timer on or nothing. Yeah. But it just freed it up. And it was always longer than that. Yeah. It's just that taking off the expectation of what it has to look like and really getting down to a relationship with God. Yeah.
That was good. Yeah. That was really good. Well, I think you got the next one.
Okay, we got time for one more. Uno más.
Ooh, but there are so many.
I know. All right, last one. Ooh, we're going to have to keep this one short. So... Ow. Knowing you. The question was, how did you get to a place where you were able to be so transparent and authentic? Because a lot of people compliment us and love the podcast and comment on how transparent we are, how real we are. Yeah. And so everybody's not in a place in their life where they feel capable or confident enough to do that. So how did you get to that place?
I say this all the time. You just stop lying to yourself. Mm-hmm. It's easier to be transparent with others when you're transparent with yourself. Mm-hmm. When you just acknowledge who you are. It was because I became more self-aware. And I was open to what Holy Spirit had to reveal. I was open to what others with good, positive voices in my life had to say. Yeah. And I just kind of went from there. But I really just told myself the truth about myself. Yeah. And when I did that with God too, like he can work with that. Yeah. He can work with anything, but he can really work with that.
Yeah, if you let him. If you let him. What really helped me is realizing that I'm not alone in the things that I feel, the things that I've been through. Yeah. And just even my journey of becoming, this woman that I am today. Yeah. And so a lot of people comment and let us know that after they watch the podcast, they feel like they're not alone. Amen. And that just blesses me so much because that was the premise of this whole platform. Yes. We was like, we need to let them know that they're not alone in the things they're thinking, the things they're going through, their frustrations, their worries, even their joys. Yeah. Right? And so knowing that somebody else can connect with what I'm going through, that my voice and me sharing my story can really impact somebody's life, that just empowers me and it encourages me because I feel like sometimes we hide or we don't share our story because of that fear. Mm-hmm. Well, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? What if nobody agrees? What if nobody has been through that and they're like, girl, you crazy. Yeah. But just knowing that and then seeing the confirmation of that in our comments, in our DMs, that just encourages me even more to be real. Yeah. Because God can bless the real you. Not the fake you. All right. Amen.
And we could just stop it right there.
And pass the offering plate.
And the offering plates, please. Ushers, take your stand. Listen,
Yes.
it's always a good time with us. It's always a good time with us. We're never out of content. Just out of time.
Just out of time. So you know what? We are going to do Ask the Aunties again. We got to do it ever so often.
Yeah.
But you can always send us comments, DMs, comment on the YouTube video. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Go on over to YouTube. If you're listening, we got a ton of audio listeners.
Oh my God.
And we love y'all so much on Apple and Spotify. But go on over to YouTube too and catch the visual because we cute or whatever.
Baby, and eat.
And send us your questions. Send us your comments. Let us know if you are enjoying the episodes and what you want us to talk about next. Because we love y'all so much. We want to make sure we stay in the vein.
Yeah.
That's our word right there. In the vein.
In the vein.
All right, y'all. Well, that has been another awesome episode of
Your Favorite Aunties podcast. Bye.